might very well be that plotline. The fact that Kohaku and Ruri or someone else in this village may very well be related in the great 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 descendant or whatever. Can't really say if I'm gonna like that if it just happens to be that plotline. But then again, it's not revealed just yet, so who knows? Then again, they're probably so far removed they don't even have a blood in their system if that were to happen. However, the answers are starting to become clear. Yes, this is the Doctor Stone chapter 42, the first chapter of Doctor Stone in this year. And it's me, the Angry Anime fan, to bring you it. Not a too bad chapter, not really that ultra impressive, but then again, we are getting some clues of Senku's past and way before everything else happened. And let me tell you, it's a bit strange, really. Then again, Senku was also a strange boy, the fact that he was a prodigy at everything else already as a middle schooler. However, in this chapter, they continue the question is why is it called Ishigami? And hearing that, Senku finally put many things together. He has always asked who was the one who first created this village, and also why is it the fact that Kohaku and Ruri look foreign, have foreign-like looks meeting them. And according to what Ruri said, Senku has put all the puzzle pieces together. And according to him, it's because in the legends that are passed down from priestess to priestess, Senku is in them, and Ruri confirms it is true. Senku is in that story. But that's only because his story is the 100th story, a story that truly happened long, long ago, which Ruri's and Kohaku's mother told Ruri when she was young, and it was apparently her very favorite kind of story. The 100th story called Ishigami Senku. And we now see a little bit glimpse of Senku's past, way before everything happened. He always was so fascinated with looking up at the moon and wondered why it followed him. He was always talking to an old guy, which we can presume have been his father, who his father was always a bit amazed the fact that an elementary school student were so smart with scientific questions. And apparently his father was also someone who once upon a time wanted to enter the astronaut program, but he couldn't go very far, mostly because he failed the swimming exam. So, well, and then we see the thing when Senku said as a childhood, I'm gonna go into space, I'm going now. Where he built the rocket, befriended Taiju and Yuzihara. And then his father apparently worked or studied at Horomi College. He then got an app saying that the JAXA astronaut cadet program was, recruiting. So Senku and Taiju created a bodysuit that they trapped Senku's father in, and then created a special kind of suit and threw him into the fishing pole, which apparently every time it will greatly shock his body, and then his moms will fly around as was doing a breaststroke. According to Senku, this was the biggest weakness of getting into the astronaut exam was for his father to not being able to swim, and apparently this will to train muscles. And eventually he enters the JAXA astronaut cadet program and clears the swimming things. But it turns out that the suit did not really help him that much with but it did help him in motivation, as his father said that he made something that for him, and therefore I had to learn how to swim. So and that's why I finished the swimming test and now stands here and an interview. And this is a way to pay back to what Senku has done for him. And 5 years later, the ships with its crew members, the spacecraft Suyu was ready to lift off, and along with one astronaut from Japan, As he grabbed the mic and the TV screen, we see Senku's father for the first time, named Ishigami Byakuya, who told in that video, "You may not watch this, Senku, but I swear I'm gonna bring you some kind of scientific souvenirs back from space." Of course, Senku was being a little bit tsundere about all of that, but hey, it's Senku. And so the rocket, along with many recruits, including Ishigami Byakuya, lifted in space. And 3 days later, every single human on the face of the earth was turned into stone. And what happened to the spaceship? Well, we can only presume that it landed, despite the fact that no one actually cleared the field or helped them land. Ishigami Senku came back to Earth and founded this village, Ishigami Village. So is this the start of a heartwarming backstory, so to speak? Because again, I mean, this chapter wasn't really that impressive, but it wasn't bad, definitely not bad. In fact, it was kind of, it's just that we didn't really think Senku's past was that, you know, interesting, because Senku was a bit rare even for a kid, the fact that he was so smart. However, this seems to imply that his scientific curiosity is more, it really does run in the genes, because his father was an aspiring astronaut and eventually even became an astronaut, and for that you need to be smart and have some kind of degree in something else. So who knows? And his ship landed. And by the way, there's just, how can a spaceship land without any direction? I mean, from flight command. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about what is logic or not because I hate logic. It's just that I'm just noting that. And so it was said that this spaceship had a lot of other recruits. It's not exactly explained on how many, but it's going to be a long-term residence aboard this one. So, Ishigami Byakuya founded this village. Is it very likely that he also got a second child, and that child is the ancestor of someone in the village, if that's Ruri or Kwaku? Because it's obvious that he is the one who has passed down the stories, especially that 100 story, which is basically, that 100 story was basically his last way to remember his son, the son he lost. And perhaps he also passed down it because he believed that his son would one day come back. Either way, there might be some hidden emotions here. So you give me your thoughts if you have any.